What is liquidity? Now, this is the video that every single trader has been looking forward to. Now, when we talk about liquidity, the reason why you find most traders getting stopped out is the fact that they don't understand where the money is. Now, if you don't understand liquidity, automatically you're the liquidity. Because if you don't know where to place your SL, another person will use your SL as TP. Now, one thing you need to understand as a trader is that in order for buyers, there must be sellers. In order for sellers, there must be buyer. So there is no two ways about it. If you're losing, someone just made money. And if you're winning, someone just lost money. Do you understand? So in this video, I will teach you how to spot liquidity, understanding liquidity. What does it mean? You've been hearing liquidity. What does it mean? I will break it down properly for you in this video. Now come with me. Now look at this part here. There are liquidities resting where? At the top of here. Why are there liquidities resting at the top of here? Because of this what? Because of all these wicks that we can see here. All these wicks. These wicks you see above signifies that there are liquidity resting at the top. Now you see this huge movement here. These are liquidity sweeps. These are liquidity grabs. I will break all of them down properly for you. Just watch this video to the end. Ignore any noise that will distract you because you've learned key levels, you've learned fundamental analysis, you've learned almost everything. And for those of you that want to join my mentorship, the mentorship has been closed for the year 2025. Except if you want to join the physical mentorship, we have one more to go before the year rounds up, which is what? In Abuja, Nigeria. If you can come for the physical mentorship, fine. But if you stay far from Abuja and you want to learn from Tony Sniper, because I've been getting DMs back to back, you can wait till next year, February. That is when the next online mentorship will what? Be held. And also remember, I don't offer investment. All these Telegram channels you see telling you send $100, send 1K, send this, they are all scamming you. Please be careful, all right? Now let's dive to liquidity. Now, I'll be referring to liquidity as what? As LQ, all right? Now, let's write it down. Liquidity. Now, what is liquidity? Liquidity are zones where money or orders are resting. Do you understand? LQ, which is liquidity, are what? Zones where what? Where money or what? Orders are what? Are resting. When we say where money or orders are resting, what are we saying indirectly? Indirectly, we're trying to say where you placed your SL, where you placed your TP. Money and orders are on that position, true or false? And exactly where you place your TP or where you place your SL, there are liquidities at those zones. Why? Because if you get taken out, you've lost money. And if you hit take profit, you've taken money. Now, remember what I said from the beginning. In order for buyers to thrive, there need to be sellers. In order for sellers to thrive, there need to be buyers. Meaning every time you make money, someone has lost money. And every time you lost money, someone has made money. That is where the SL and TP concept comes from. If you hit your SL, someone has made money. You lost money. If you hit your TP, you've made money. Someone have lost money. Now, what are the reasons for liquidity? Reasons for what? For liquidity. Number one, for what? For take profits. Levels or what? Or area. Number two, for confirmation. All right? Now, reasons for liquidity, meaning why do we look out for liquidity? Is there any specific purpose why people focus on learning liquidity? Number one, for take profit levels or area. Now, understanding liquidity would help you go from a trader that just buy and sell into a trader that buy to where people are keeping their stop loss or sell to where people are keeping their take profits. Do you understand? Now, when you're buying, you will buy until you clear the people that were selling, and when you're selling, you will sell until you clear the people that are what? That are still buying. Remember, liquidity helps you to confirm a trade, and it helps you to also what? Find take profit level area. Now, as a trader who wants to be informed, especially moving forward, if you're seeing this video in 2025, 2026, 2027, good for you. You've actually found the channel that will change your life. As a trader who wants to continue evolving, you need to become an informed trader. Gone are the days where we trade up and double top and double bottom, head and shoulder. Now, I'm not saying they don't work. Of course, all these concepts works, but in order for you to utilize them properly, you need to be informed. How do you stay informed? You learn fundamental analysis or you understand liquidity. Now, imagine understanding fundamental analysis, understanding liquidity, and pairing the both of them together. You become unstoppable. Do you understand? You will become what? You will become unstoppable. So pay attention to this video so you don't waste your time. Now, let me write down areas where you can find liquidity. Areas to find LQ. Remember, I said whenever I put LQ, I'm talking about liquidity, right? Whenever I put LQ, I'm talking about liquidity. Number one, at equal high area. Number two, at the top or what? Bottom of what? Of an exhaustion. Do you understand? Now, these are areas where you want to find liquidity. Do you understand? Then these reasons are for what? Are reasons why you're looking for liquidity. Areas where you find liquidity at equal high area, areas where you find liquidity also at the top or bottom of an exhaustion. With what? With wicks. With wicks. Do you understand? Now, let me give you guys an example. With everything that you've learned here so far, I'm trying my best to make liquidity as simple as possible because there are so many concepts out there when it comes to liquidity. There are so many people that will go in-depthly to teach you liquidity and you end up confusing yourself. So I'm trying my best to make liquidity as simple as possible so that when you come across it, you will easily be able to say, oh, okay, this market took out liquidity here. This market is heading here, heading here. And this is actually what I've been using for the past 6 years plus and I've been profitable. My students also can also attest to this. Do you understand? So come with me. Reasons for liquidity. For take profit levels or area. For confirmation. Then areas to find liquidity where at equal high area or at the top or bottom of an exhaustion. Do you understand? Good. Now let's give an example. Let's give one example. Then we'll come back to the charts. Okay? Now pay attention to this example. Pay attention to this example here. For take profit level. Okay? For what? Take profit level or what? Or area. Now imagine a market selling 1, 2, 3. Right? Then you end up finding out that that market starts to create what? Starts to create what? A consolidation. Now, for those of you that have watched my market structure video, I've already explained to you guys that we have two types of exhaustion. We have an exhaustion that leads to a reversal. We have an exhaustion that leads to what? A continuation. So you can go back and rewatch that video if you've not watched it. Just search market structure and you'll see the video, okay? Now, this is a sell market because the market started selling here. Okay? This is what? This is your resistance. And this is what? This is your support. Now look at this market carefully. This market started selling one, went back up, dumped, went back up. Automatically, we've already spotted what? We've already spotted an equal high. Now, how do you know an equal high? An M formation is an equal high. Like this is an equal high. Why is it an equal high? Because it is equal. That is why they call them equal high, because they are equal. Ignore my drawing. But once you find 2 top or 3 top equal, that top is referred to as what? An equal high. Now, we already have an equal high here. Now, let's refer back to areas where we find liquidity. Areas to find liquidity. At what? At equal high or low area. At equal high or low area. Now, let's push forward. Now, we already know that there's a liquidity here, right? Remember, this example is for what? For take profit level. Don't forget. Now, this is your support. This is your resistance. The market started selling from resistance and is approaching the support. But all of a sudden, why this market is approaching the support, the market started what? Started forming an exhaustion. Now, why this market was forming an exhaustion, there were so many wicks at the top and at the bottom. When we go to the chart, I'll show you. There were so many wicks at the top and at the bottom. Now, what happened? Then this market dipped lower. Now, after this market dipped lower, it reversed back to the upside. Now, what has this market done? It has cleared the liquidity from traders that started buying early. Because, of course, when this market was pushing to the downside, some traders would have started buying here and placing their SL below here. Do you understand? Not waiting for the market to clear liquidity first. Remember, the only reason why we understand this concept is because liquidity have made us to understand that areas where you can find it is at equal high or low area, at the top or bottom of an exhaustion with wicks. Now look at these charts. Is this not an exhaustion? And there are wicks at the top, wicks at the bottom, meaning there are liquidity at the top, liquidity at the bottom. For this equal high, there's also liquidity resting here. True or false? True. Now this market has dumped below to clear this liquidity. Now what happened? You will buy these markets back to this side here to clear this liquidity. Now, after it clears that liquidity, remember the market is in a sell trend. But the fact that we've cleared this liquidity first and we've not tapped into the support, then you sell it back, what? To the support. Is that clear? Because why? Because we cleared the liquidity at the bottom first. But in situation where you see the market, this is your resistance and this is your support, right? Then you see the market starts selling, goes back to create a double top, crashes, then starts consolidating. Then there are wicks like this. Then you notice this market spike up first. What has the market done? It has automatically cleared this liquidity. What would you do next? You will sell it to your support. But if the market crashes down first to clear this first liquidity, you will buy it first before you sell it back down. You can see these are 2 charts that are the same, but 2 differences. This first one cleared the liquidity at the bottom. Cleared bottom liquidity. Why this other one what? It first cleared what? It cleared top what? Liquidity. It cleared the top liquidity before crashing. Do you understand? So, with this video, you should have a proper knowledge of what liquidity is. For take profits, levels or area, we've already used this now. Because if you're buying this market from here, or from here, or from here, you know this is where your take profit is. Do you understand? If you're also selling this market because it has cleared this liquidity from here, 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 or here, you know this is where your take profit is. Because this is where the next liquidity lies. And what are those liquidities? Orders. What are those orders? Stop loss, TP, buy stop, sell, sell orders, sell limits, so on and so forth. Do you understand? I'm trying to keep this very simple. There are so many ways you can learn liquidity. But if you study this video properly, there's no liquidity that you will come across on the charts that you will not be able to spot. Do you understand? Now, let's do the second example. For what? For confirmation. I've given you an example for take profit area, right? Now let's use this example for confirmation. Now for confirmation, now let's say this is your resistance and this is your support. Then you notice this market buying. Now while this market was approaching your resistance, you saw a double top. Now what would you do? Let me give you 2 minutes to answer yourself. What would you do in a situation like this? Drop your answer in the comments before I continue. Now, some of you would have already started selling. Why would you sell? Because you've seen what? You've seen a double top. But don't forget, this is our resistance. This is our support. So, you selling the market from here is a trap. All of a sudden, you just see the market retraces back before what? Before crashing to the downside. Because this double top that have been created here, this equal high, has already told you that what? That there are sellers that have started selling this market from here, and some sellers have also started selling this market from here. That's why the market looks as if it wants to start selling. But don't forget, this market has not tapped into what? Your resistance level, which is where you can find your supply zone. It has not tapped into those levels. So why are you in a rush to sell? You need to remember that markets moves money from impatient traders to patient traders, from patient traders to impatient trader. There's no two ways about it. Do you understand? So how did you use this for confirmation? You wanted to sell this market because, of course, you saw this market started buying from here, right? And the market has bought almost 400 pips. Only like 30 or 50 pips is left. Now you're looking for a confirmation to sell this market. You know that if you start selling here, it is risky. So you wait for the market to clear the liquidity. Then what do? Then you sell it to the downside. Do you understand? Same thing for a buy. Same thing for a buy. Let's say, for example, let me find one nice example to give you guys. Same thing, if you switch it for a buy, the market was selling, then it gets to this place, creates a double bottom. Automatically, it has not tapped your support. You want to rush and start buying. Wait for it to dip into here, then you buy. That is a confirmation. Do you understand? That is a clean confirmation. Or not just only double top or double bottom. Sometimes you will notice the market created a resistance and a support. Then this market is buying, then start consolidating. Wait for that market to clear the wicks that were created at the top, then crash. Do you understand? Or you wait for the market to clear the wicks at the bottom, go back up, then crash. Sometimes all it takes is for you to have patience. Don't be in a rush. Wait for the market to come to you, then you trade or you sell. Now let's go to the board. So I'll show you guys some of these examples and how they play in real time. We've started the liquidity concept, and all through the month of November, it will just be liquidity. Now come with me to the chart. Now look at this chart. Let's go to GBP JPY. Look at GBP JPY on the 4-hour time frame. This is the 4-hour time frame, right? Now this was what I was analyzing with my students yesterday. But let's, for the sake of this class, let's make it easier so everybody will be together, okay? Now look at the 4-hour time frame. Look at the 4-hour time frame, right? Now at this zone here, we already have what? We already have a supply here, right? Let's say we have a supply around this zone here. Now, my students already know how to draw supply and demand zone. That's one thing that I might not teach on my YouTube because it's only reserved for my students. Because after you learn fundamentals, learn liquidity, supply and demand will help you for your entries. Now, let's say this is our supply zone, right? Now, if you look at this chart carefully, this market is what? This market is very bullish. And all these lines that you're seeing like this that I'm drawing, there are liquidities resting here. Because there are people that have started buying here, some people bought here, some people bought here, some people bought here, and they are waiting for this market to continue pushing. Now, what would you be expecting? See, this market is approaching what? It is approaching what? It's approaching the supply zone. Now, what would you do in this scenario from that example I gave you? This is the double top that want to tempt you to start selling. But no, you should look for a buy back to this liquidity, then before you sell it to the downside. Because the market is approaching the supply zone. There's no reason for you. There's no reason for you to jump. Let me go to the daily time frame so you can see clearly. There's no reason for you to jump and start what? And start looking for this USD JPY this is GBP JPY, by the way. The trade has not even played out. So if you come across this video before it plays out, you can take advantage of the trade. Do you understand? Wait for this market to spike to the upside. Take out this liquidity that was created here, tap into here. Then what do? Then we sell it to the downside. Now you already know this market will sell very soon, but you need a confirmation. What is that confirmation? To take out the liquidity at the top, then we sell. That's one example, right? For confirmation. Now, let me give you one example for take profit level. Let's go to USD JPY. Now, if you look at USD JPY, every time that the market is selling, the market will come back and create what? This formation, this. Then crash. Then you will see a consolidation, then the market will come back to clear this high. Now, this is the high. Now, see what happened moving forward. The market has cleared the high. Can you see? It has cleared this high. Now, after clearing this high, what would happen? The market will look for a level where it will tap into, then what? Then crash. Because we have a gap here waiting. Do you understand? We have a gap here waiting. Now, I gave this formation while I was explaining that after the market creates this double top, it will consolidate for a while, then shoot up to clear the liquidity. Because there are people that were selling here, there were people that were selling here, we have people that have been selling here. That's why that buy will be very aggressive. After that buy clears all of them, then we'll see a huge dump to the downside. Do you understand? So look at this example that I've given you guys, then check what I talked about. Exactly the same thing. This is for what? This is for GBP JPY. And this other one is for what? This other one is for what? USD JPY. Thank you all for watching this video. And remember, we've started the liquidity series. I remain Anthony Uche, also known as the Sniper.